The Omnidroid didn't win because it was stronger. It won because Supers made one decision that guaranteed a worse rematch. They treated a system like it was a monster, and paid for it twice. This isn't a who's stronger debate. It's a breakdown of the single habit that turned every heroic fight into a design update for Syndrome.
Once you see it, Operation Chrono stops looking like a trap and starts looking like a factory line.
Here it is. Supers fought for a clean win, instead of controlling what the Omnidroid could learn about them. They showed their full toolkit. They repeated signature moves under stress. They stayed in the fight even after the first plan failed. That's normal against villains. Against an engineered opponent that gets rebuilt after every encounter, that habit becomes a blueprint for your own defeat. In the film, Syndrome's Kronos database reveals a long list of supers marked Terminated, framing the Omnidroid as an iterative project, not a one-off battle. And the official NSA files on the Incredibles DVD expand that same idea with bios and threat ratings for multiple supers involved in the Kronos era. That context matters, because it explains the pattern. A super shows up expecting to end a crisis. Syndrome gets a recorded stress test. The next build arrives with counters already in mind. The first fight is dangerous. The second fight is designed. A loss tells Syndrome what survives your best shot. A close fight tells him what almost breaks the machine. A victory is the worst result because it reveals the exact conditions required to destroy it. Not he's strong, not she shoots energy, but the real killing details: distance, timing, wind-up, stamina curve, finishing angle. That's the difference between power and procedure. And supers gave away their procedure. The NSA Kronos material lists Gamma Jack with controlled radiation bursts and a high threat rating 7.9. It also states he destroyed a prototype Omnidroid, then was killed by its successor, with the exact versions left unclear in that summary. That story is the entire thesis in one sentence. Gamma Jack didn't run out of power. He ran into a second model that arrived with answers. The mistake wasn't facing the Omnidroid. The mistake was allowing the rematch to happen on the machine's terms after Syndrome had seen exactly what a winning burst looks like. If you're fighting a weapon that gets rebuilt after each encounter, your objective changes. You don't win by showing everything you have. You win by denying clean data. That means cut the fight short once you've exposed a weakness. Rotate tactics instead of repeating a signature finisher. Force environmental chaos the designer can't pre-calc. Leave before the opponent turns your best move into a liability. In other words, you don't prove you're stronger. You make the next version impossible to design. Syndrome's pipeline was optimized for solo hero behavior. One super, one fight, one report. Unpredictable teamwork breaks that model because it creates competing threats and overlapping timing windows. That's why the Par family succeeds where lone supers failed. Not because they're the strongest, but because their combined pressure produces messy inputs. So the biggest mistake wasn't courage, it was fighting clean. Supers walked in trying to end the problem, they accidentally became the research team that perfected it. And that's why the Omnidroid was never just hard to beat, it was built to come back better specifically against you.